Today, we will explore the story of the darkest monster of the dark web who was arrested by the police. He did many evil things, from conducting more than 117 property scams in Australia to producing hardcore movies in the Philippines. He made the hardcore movie The Daisy's Destruction that even shocked the dark web. He has been sentenced to 129 years in jail. Let's discuss his crimes in detail. There were two girls whose nicknames were Angel and Lovely. Both of them had a master, not to be described as a boyfriend, husband, or relative. Only the master could define their relationship, and this master for both was called Peter Scully. What kind of person was Peter Scully? You might not even believe that such people exist. Peter Scully was born in Melbourne, Australia on January 13th, 1963. He was very strange, and all his neighbors knew there was something wrong with him. He didn't seem normal to them, but no one made any complaints. Everyone just had a feeling that something was off. While in Australia, Peter Scully had a sugar baby. He left his family in 2011 and lived with his sugar baby. During his time in Australia, he was involved in many scams and illegal activities, including a property scam worth $2.5 million. When the police and other authorities discovered this, they investigated Peter Scully's history and current activities, resulting in a total of 117 charges being imposed on him. As soon as charges were filed against him, he fled to Manila, Philippines, which is why he wasn't caught at that time. In the Philippines, Peter Scully's behavior didn't change much. There, he found an escort named Carmen Ann Alvarez. Initially, Carmen provided only basic escort services to Peter, but he gradually became her regular customer and started to psychologically manipulate her. He began to break her courage, torturing her and engaging in disturbing sexual activities. Carmen's courage was shattered, and she suffered immense mental trauma, essentially becoming Peter's slave. Among some of the starting escorts of Peter in the Philippines, one was Carmine. A trauma bond had formed between Carmine and Peter, and because of this, whatever Peter told Carmen to do, she used to do it quietly, and I mean anything. Then, Peter gave her a nickname, which was Angel. Shortly after that, Peter called another prostitute, and her name was Liesl Margallo. She was given the nickname Lovely. So, these are two very special escorts. You can call them prostitutes, slaves, or escorts. Peter had two girls who were basically his slaves. Whatever Peter asked them to do, they did it quietly for him. Peter was very good at manipulating people. He could break their courage quickly and make them his slaves fast. Now, how did he do it? No one knows. One day, Peter said that all three of them, Peter, Angel, and Lovely, would move to Malabale and start a new business there. At that time, Angel and Lovely didn't know what the business would be, but Peter knew very well. They were going to make films, a specific genre called hardcore. There's a famous book called The Darkest Web that defines hardcore, and this definition itself is disturbing to read. If you want, I can show you the definition. After shifting, Scully became a proper director of films in this genre. These films were available on a dark web website called Hurt2 to the Core, created by a person named Lux. We'll discuss Lux later. Peter Scully gradually realized that he could earn a lot of money by making such films. Due to this, he started a new business named No Limits Fun. Now you must understand what kind of films were made in this business. There were three people in this business: Peter Scully, Lovely, and Angel. How did it work? Angel and Lovely had only one job: to bring small children who had no means to support themselves, about whom no one cared. It was Angel and Lovely's job to bring such children by making false promises. They promised proper care, food, and shelter. Many poor parents, living on $2 or $1 a day, happily gave their children to these two, thinking that Angel and Lovely would provide them with a better life. They were unaware of what would happen to their children. When these two girls, Angel and Lovely, brought these children, the work began for Peter Scully. He used to prepare all these children for his films. The initial step of this preparation involved showing porn to these small children. He would sit them down and expose them to this material for hours on end. If they expressed refusal, he would force them to watch. And in any case, who would come to rescue these children? There were two girls, aged 9 and 12, whom Angel and Lovely had caught and brought in 2012. These two girls were tortured for 5 days. Their parents gave both of them to Peter Scully, hoping that someone would care for them, provide food and shelter. Little did they know that their daughters were being tortured, recorded, and the footage was being uploaded to the dark web for sale. Both of those girls were tortured significantly. At the beginning of those 5 days, videos were made of them showering together and also with Peter Scully. After that, he used to make videos of them digging a pit. While digging, he would give both of them a shovel or whatever he wanted and say, "Dig a hole." For 5 days, both of them dug a pit each in Peter's backyard. Peter Scully raped them for 5 days. He did not even consider them as human beings. One night, Peter Scully made both the girls drink too much alcohol, and when they woke up in the morning, he buried them in the same pit. Basically, both the girls were digging their own graves for the last 5 days. All this, including digging pits, giving alcohol, and the sexual abuses, was filmed and uploaded to the dark web by Peter Scully. They buried them because they thought that both of them were dead. They did not even check whether they were dead or alive, whether they were breathing or not. They buried them directly. All the videos that were shot by Peter Scully while digging a pit, taking alcohol, or sexually abusing those 2 girls were made for Peter's business, No Limits Fun. While burying those 2 girls, it suddenly came to light in the middle that both these girls were alive. Peter Scully took them out from there and started planning what other videos he could shoot with them. One day, Angel untied them. She helped them escape Peter's house because she felt pity when she saw those 2 girls with a dog's leash tied around their necks. As soon as they ran away from there, they went straight to their parents and filed a complaint with the police. As soon as the police became aware of the situation, they immediately went to arrest Peter. However, by that time, Scully and Lovely had already fled. Angel was captured by the police. Upon her arrest, Angel disclosed everything she knew, including details about all the videos, Scully's actions, and the No Limits Fun business. She recounted stories that had been recorded. There are records of many such children, and there are numerous victims whose stories were never documented and thus remained unknown to the world. I am sharing those recorded stories with you now. They are online and accessible. All the victims have vanished, but their snuff films continue to circulate on the internet, and it is from here that the story takes an even darker turn. After escaping from the police, Scully didn't stop his crimes. He found 3 new victims and brought them with him. Their names were Barbie, who was 12 years old, Lisa, who was 11, and Daisy, who was just 18 months old. First, Peter made Barbie, the oldest, hurt the other 2 girls. Even Daisy, who was only 18-month-old, was forced to be part of this. After these terrible acts, the most disturbing event on the dark web took place. The worst video ever seen there was made, and it was called Daisy's Destruction. As this video is so disturbing and watching the dark web is illegal, I request all of you not to watch it. However, if you are curious about what was in this video, I can share the details with you as I have read them. For all this time, there have been people on the dark web who were paying thousands of dollars to buy these videos. Because there are so many people in this world who find pleasure in these snuff movies. It's so disturbing that such people exist, and they exist in such large numbers. There are so many people who are buying these videos for their pleasure, so now only those people can watch these videos who have been watching this genre, and those who pay. This was exclusive content for all these snuff movie lovers, and they have the right to watch only after paying. All the videos were being made for them. All this was happening with Daisy. All this was happening with all the other victims, and Peter was making videos. Among all these watchers, there was a guy named Matthew Graham who bought this video and leaked it on his website, Hurt to the Core. Yes, I told you earlier, he is the creator of Hurt to the Core. His name is Lux, and Lux was none other than Matthew Graham. This person had leaked Peter's movie, this video, Daisy Destruction, on his website. As soon as this video was leaked, the police came to know about it. At first, the police themselves went there out of curiosity. They thought that something like this could also happen. People act like this too, and they were even more interested in the fact that people are buying these things. Something had come before the police which they could never even imagine. They had seen such a sight which they neither wanted to believe nor were able to believe. After this, the police went straight to catch Peter, and when they caught Peter, they recorded all this. You can see it yourself. Peter and Liesl were arrested. Scully was sentenced to life imprisonment in June 2018. In November 2022, he received a second conviction and was sentenced to an additional 129 years in prison. Later, shocking news came that Liesel was released due to lack of evidence. She was the main abuser in the video Daisy's Destruction. She herself accepted that she was in the video, but she was released due to lack of evidence. No one knows how this happened, but after some time, she was arrested again. Then she told everything about Peter Scully. No Limits Fun, Hurt to the Core, and the whole dark web scenes, because she knew more than enough. One of the important things she told was where they had buried some of their victims. Then the police went straight there and searched. What they found there is its footage. While Peter was under trial, while he was in jail, he was still making thousands of dollars through his dark web content. There were still people who were watching his disturbing content after paying thousands of dollars. Daisy was rescued after this video. She is still alive, but she may not heal from the trauma she suffered by the hands of Liesel and Peter. Be careful and keep your youngsters away from strangers. You never know who will be the next Peter Scully from the crowd, because there are still people who are fascinated by such videos, who feel pleasure watching such videos. If you want us to dig into more stories of the dark web, please comment below. To encourage us on this journey, use the like button and press the subscribe button to never miss any new video.